Hi, freelancers. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again today. Today, I want to talk about one of our senses that is often overlooked in our day-to-day life as a freelancer, and that's scent. I actually believe that scent is a huge, often overlooked factor in creating your office vibe. I know that I have personally found that scent really does impact my work on a typical freelance day when I'm balancing client calls, creative projects, or just conducting the administrative side of my freelancing business. So when you spend a lot of your work life in your home office, like I do, I think that you'll agree that creating an environment that vibes with you is important. Because essentially, your space shapes your mindset. So things like the right light, the right playlist, if you're someone who listens to music while working, and yes, even the right scent can completely shift your energy. For me, one of my regular practices for my home office is diffusing essential oils. And diffusing the oils isn't just about making my office smell good, which is a nice secondary effect of diffusing the oils. I consider it a ritual that helps me transition through my workday with intention. It's one of those small sensory systems that very quietly but powerfully supports my freelance business. It helps keep me centered, energized, and aligned with the work that I'm doing. I really got into diffusing essential oils when I owned my yoga and Pilates studio. As some of you know, I had that business for 18 years and I closed it when COVID started. But when I had that business, I became aware of how the smell in a space impacts energy. So in that environment, scent was part of creating calm for my students. We actually had classes that were marked as aroma classes, and we also diffused essential oils in the lobby. And I found this practice really did have an impact on people, and they really did respond to it. Now, fast forward, working mostly remote, I've carried the awareness of how scents impact energy into my freelancing life. I personally find that diffusing helps me to set the tone for whatever kind of day I'm having. Whether I need to focus deeply, creatively brainstorm, or just catch up on a lot of that freelance admin work. It helps me stay grounded when my work pace picks up or projects are overlapping, creating a little bit of chaos. It also helps me mark transitions, whether that be from a morning catch-up routine or heads down on client work. In fact, it even helps me transition from the workday to my evening wind down. It also helps me feel connected to the seasons, even when I'm spending long stretches behind a screen and can't go outside to enjoy the outside as much as I would like. Because I've been doing this for several years now, I have a large collection of essential oils. I actually have a monthly subscription order, but I tend to use specific scents more regularly than others. And here are the 5 that are sort of my go-tos in case you're wondering where you could get started or the benefits of using specific essential oils. So starting off with lemon, I use lemon for clarity and energy. It's a bright and clean scent. So I often use lemon as my morning starter, especially if I need a little extra push to get started through the day. I feel like it cuts through any mental fog that I have and gets me moving on big picture planning days or those Monday mornings where we all sometimes need a little help. Second, I like orange. I feel like it's great for creative flow. When I'm writing, designing courses, or brainstorming, orange brings me warmth and focus without feeling heavy. I myself am not a fan of overpoweringly strong scents. But orange is my go-to for creative flow, especially when I pair it with cinnamon. But I'll get to that later. So, not surprisingly, my next go-to scent is cinnamon. I think cinnamon is my all-time favorite. It just feels like home to me. It's cozy, it's grounding, and it instantly helps me focus. I use it often. Sometimes in my diffuser, or I have also been known to buy the cinnamon scented brooms from Trader Joe's, and sometimes I will diffuse cinnamon and open a cinnamon broom for a real cinnamon environment. But sometimes I also blend cinnamon with another scent, such as orange, as I just mentioned, because it helps to match my mood or the season. Nutmeg is another one of my favorites. I feel like nutmeg is good for centering and creating an atmosphere of calm. When I'm working through big deadlines or back-to-back meetings, nutmeg helps me stay balanced. It's one of those subtly spicy scents, but it helps me to stay steady without giving me a sluggish feeling. I also love any sort of Christmas blend. I have several of them. I will use them around the holidays for nostalgia and joy, but I have been known to sometimes use them out of season just because it feels right. Around the holidays, I will mix pine and peppermint and cinnamon and create some sort of creative blend because I really gets me in that festive, energized spirit while also keeping me grounded. And there's something about it that I feel like brings almost a sense of gratitude to my workspace. I feel like it's perfect for that year-end reflection or wrapping up big projects, which is why I sometimes use it out of season. The last noteworthy one is pumpkin and other fall blends. I feel like this combination really creates comfort in transition. Any sort of cinnamon, clove, or vanilla type mix makes my home office feel like a cozy coffee shop. They help me ease into fall, which is a big transition here in New England where I'm from. And it helps me to create a natural time to plan and reset as I'm moving myself and my business into another season. So as I mentioned, I don't always diffuse these scents one at a time. I love mixing oils to create custom blends that match my mood or my energy for the day. It makes me feel like an alchemist too, which is kind of cool. I think that mixing scents works for me because it mirrors the way that I work as a freelancer. Sometimes I'm feeling especially creative, flexible, or intuitive, and sometimes I need just a little bit less. My blends do evolve with my projects, my energy, and the season, plus I'm always trying something new. It's a small act of creativity that sets the tone for everything else. I do want to mention that there are some scents that I really love, but I almost never diffuse in my office because I don't feel like they're conducive to me getting work done. For instance, I absolutely love lavender. It's calming, it's floral, it's instantly relaxing. When I go and get one of my favorite spa pedicures, I almost always choose the lavender scent because it's so calming. But that same reason is exactly why I rarely diffuse it when I'm working. For me, lavender lets my body know that it's time to unwind, and it generally causes me to lose focus because I become too relaxed. So I save it for evenings when I'm closing up my laptop and, maybe turning in before bed. It's the scent that tells me the workday's done. So while it's one of my favorites, I use it more as part of my out-of-life work rhythm than my work rhythm. Essentially, I feel like diffusing helps me run my business better. And it's not just about the scent. It really is part of my productivity system. I feel like it creates my freelance work in several ways. First, it helps me to create a structure because different blends to me mark the start, middle, or end of my work day. It also helps create a structure around the type of work that I'm doing so that my brain knows what to expect. Diffusing definitely helps me improve my focus. Scents like citrus or spice help me stay alert during long creative sessions where it's otherwise somewhat easy to lose focus or get distracted. It also supports my transitions. As a freelancer, I am constantly switching between various clients and various tasks. I find that switching scents when I do this helps me mentally move from maybe a less focused project to a more focused project. Or simply at the end of the day when I want to transition from work to rest. Scents can also help you reduce stress. I know that they do for me. Having that warm, grounding scent, something like cinnamon or nutmeg that I mentioned previously, provide me with the comfort to stay focused and get forging forward. Last, I feel like they help boost my consistency because it's a sensory ritual in many ways. And it makes it easier for me to show up even when my schedule shifts or something unexpected happens. As we all know, freelancing comes with a certain degree of freedom, but that freedom still needs structure. And for me, diffusing gives me a sensory anchor for my day, for focus, creativity, calm, or closure. Whether it's lemon to start fresh, cinnamon to stay centered, or lavender to signal that it's the end of my workday, scent helps me create a rhythm that supports both my well-being and my business. So if your freelance days sometimes blur together, try this technique. Try adding scent to your system. It's a small but significant change in my opinion. I strongly believe that you'll find that a few drops of essential oils can change not just your workspace, but your whole mindset. If you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like and subscribe. I'll be back with other tips on freelancing soon. Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.